सो आज इस वीडियो लेक्चर में हम IQAB एग्जामिनेशन मई 2015 का फिज़िक्स पेपर 1 सॉल्व करेंगे. सो लेट्स गो टू द क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 and see which question is there from our chapter number 1. Okay, so here we have our question, that is question number 1, and this is from our chapter number 1, physical quantities and measurement. In this question, the volume of the cuboid is given. The volume of the cuboid is 0.03 meter cube. And in the given diagram, we have to find the value of x. And in this diagram, we have the length is equals to 0.5, breadth equals to zero point 0.2, and we have to calculate the height of that cuboid. So applying the formula of the volume of the cuboid, that is equals to length, breadth into height. The given values are volume 0.03, length is 0.5, breadth is 0.2, and height is x. For calculating the x, this zero point 0.5 and zero point 0.2 will shift to the other side of the equation, that is 0.5 multiplied by 0.2. So 0.03 divided by zero point 0.5 into zero point 0.2 is 0.1, and after dividing 0.03 to with zero point 0.1 we will get 0.3. So the correct answer for this question is option C. Let's move to the other question, that is question number 3 and question number 4. So this question is again from our chapter number 1, physical quantities and measurement, in which we have a part of a vernier caliper in the diagram, and we have to find the vernier scale reading. डायग्राम गिवन है हमारे पास और उस डायग्राम से हमें वर्नियर स्केल रीडिंग को फाइंड आउट करना है. So this reading is, or this scale is known as vernier scale, and this scale is the main scale. Usually we calculate the total reading from the given instrument, but in this question we are only asked to find the vernier scale reading. So we have a number of divisions from 0 to 100 on this vernier, 0 to 10 in this vernier scale. So we have to look for the division that exactly coincide with the main lines on the main scale. So if we start from 1 and proceed forward, this division line of 1 do not coincide with the main scale line. Similarly, this 2 do not coincide with the main scale line on the main scale. So we have to look for a line for the vernier scale that exactly coincide with the line on the main scale. So if we look, give a closer look to this line number 6 that exactly coincide with the lines or divisions on the main scale. So this is how we take the vernier scale reading. So the vernier scale reading we have is 6 millimeters. So let's come to the other question, which that is question number 3. And which of the following instrument or most accurate instrument for the measurement of length? So we have a question from chapter number 1, physical quantities and measurement. So we have these 4 instruments and we have to identify which of the instrument is the most accurate. And by most accurate, we means the instrument with the least count. So meter ruler, the least count is we have 0.1 centimeter. For a screw gauge, it is equal to 0.001 centimeters, and for measuring tape, it is zero point 0.1 centimeter, and the vernier caliper, its least count is 0.01 centimeter. So among those 4 measuring instruments, the screw gauge has got the most less least count. So the correct answer for this question is option B. Let's move to another question, that is question number 4, and let's see what they have what the paper is asking in question number 4. So this is our question number 4 from chapter 2, kinematics. So the graph given, it shows that the velocity time graph of the motion of the body. So this graph shows the velocity time graph of the body. So the slope of the line segment AB in the above graph. So we have to give the interpretation of the slope and the slope of this speed time graph. So we know that the formula of slope is change in y divided by change in x. So if we look in the y-axis, we have velocity, and in the time axis or the x-axis, we are given with time. So when we calculate the slope of this graph, we will get velocity upon time, and we know that velocity upon time is known as acceleration. So the slope of this graph or slope of velocity time graph always represent the acceleration of the body. So the correct answer for this question is question option A. So next we have question number 5 and question number 6. These two questions are again from our chapter number 2, kinematics. In question number 5, we have to identify that which of the following is not a vector quantity. So the vector quantities are those that require direction with magnitude as well. So where we have to identify the scalar one, which means that will be not a vector quantity. So momentum needs direction, tension is a type of force that require direction, while the torque or moment also has a particular direction. So the correct option for this question is option A, that is power. Power is a scalar quantity and it does not require any direction. Next, we have question number 6 from the same chapter, and in this question, the paper is asking a simple definition that the distance covered in a unit time. So, as we have studied different terms in the start of this chapter that are used to study the motion of the body, in which we have a term that is known as distance covered in a unit time, and this term is known as speed. So the correct option for this question number 6 is option A. Let's move to the other question, that is question number 7. And in this question, a diagram is given in which the mass of the body is 10 kilogram and its acceleration is 0.1 meter per second square, and we have to find the force acting on that body. So by applying the basic formula of the force, that is equals to mass time acceleration. Mass of the body is 10 and acceleration is 0.1. So with the product of 10 and zero point 0.1, we will get 1 Newton. So the force acting on this 10 kilogram body accelerating with 0.1 meter per second square, it is equals to 1 Newton. So the correct option is option A. Next, we have question number 8, that is from our chapter number 3, dynamics. And this question, two bodies of mass m1, m2 and weighs w1, w2 are hanging vertically connected with a string and passes through a frictionless pulley. And in this question, we are given that w1 is greater than w2. This means that if W1 is greater than W2, then this body A will move downward and this body B will move upward. So the direction of acceleration for body A will be downward and the direction of acceleration for body B will be upward. So this question asks that which of the following option must be true for the direction of acceleration of m1 and m2. So as I've explained here, the direction of acceleration for body A is downward and the acceleration of body B is upward. So the correct option we have is option C, Question number 8. Let's move to the other question, that is question number 9. And this question number 9 is from our chapter number 4, Turning Effect of Force. So in this question, we have three forces, F1, F2, and F3. These three forces are acting on this body with making different angle. So this F3 is making a certain angle theta, F1 is making a 90-degree, while F2 is along the direction of moment arm, along the moment arm. So question asks that which of the force will individually produce zero torque? So we know that the factors affecting the torque are force, moment arm, and the angle between force and moment arm. So these all forces are equal, and these all forces are acting on the same point. That means the forces are equal and the moment arm of all the forces are equal. This means that the torque will depend on the angle between force and moment arm. If angle force and moment arm, if the angle between them is 90-degree, the torque is maximum, while if force and moment arm are parallel or along the same line, the torque in that case is equal to 0. So the force, that is F2, will produce the 0 torque along the point A. So the correct option is option B, F2 only. Next question we have is question number 10, that is from chapter number 4, Turning Effect of Force. In this question, two bodies with mass m and 100 gram are hang on a rod with these two moment arms. So we have to calculate the mass m of that body. So let's say the weight of the body of first body is W1 and the weight of the second body is W2. And these are the two moment arms of body 1 and body 2. So let's say these are L1 and L2. So we have to calculate the mass of that object, in which the first mass is given 0.1 kilogram, and this will be 0.4 meters, and this is 0.5 meters. So applying the principle of moment, torque 1 will be equal to torque 2, and torque 1 will be equal to W1 into L1, and torque 2 will be equals to W2 into L2. W1 is the unknown, so W1 will remain as it is. So L1 will be equal to 0.5, and W2 we are given only with the mass. So we will convert this 0.1 kilogram into force or newtons. So W is equals to mg, where m is 0.1 and the gravitational acceleration is 10. So the answer will be 1 Newton. So value of weight of the first object is 1 and L2 is 0.4. So if we calculate the weight, it will become 1 into zero point 0.4 divided by 0.5. So we will get the answer 0.8 newtons. So the weight of this body is 0.8 Newton. So then we will convert this into kilogram and then into gram. So we will get 80 grams. So the mass of that body is 80 grams. Let's come to other question number 11 and 12. So this question is from our chapter number 4, Turning Effect of Force. The rotational effect of force is called. So this is the basic definition of torque, and among those four options we have option number B, that is correct answer. So this moment we can also moment is also known as torque, or we can also say it as rotational effect of force or simple turning effect of force. So the correct answer we have is option number B. In question number 12, this is from our chapter number 5, gravitation. The weight of an object on the earth is a result of gravitational force. And we have to tell that this gravitational force exists between which two bodies. So, the weight of an object on the earth is obviously a force of attraction between that object and the earth. So, the correct option is option C, earth and the object. Next, question number 13. And question number 13 states that which of the following correctly describe the variation of gravity with altitude. So, as we know that whenever we move up from the surface of the earth, the value of gravitational acceleration decreases. So, this is our question number 13 from our chapter number 5, gravitation. So, as we move up from the surface of the earth, the value of gravitational acceleration decreases, and they are inversely proportional to each other. And actually gravitational acceleration is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the center of the earth. So the correct option is option D. It is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the center of the earth. Next, we have question number 14, and question number 14 tells that planets revolve around the sun due to a force that is known as gravitational force. All the planets revolve around the sun are due to the presence of gravitational force. Moon revolve around the earth, that is due to gravitational force, and similarly all the satellites that are revolving around the earth and other planets, this all due to the presence of gravitational force. So the correct option for this question number 14 is option D. Next, we have question number 15, that is from our chapter number 6, work, power, and energy. And we have to identify the energy that is present in a spring that is compressed. So, whenever we compress a spring, there is a hidden form of energy, there is a stored form of energy possessed by this spring, and energy possessed by that spring is known as elastic potential energy. We have different types of potential energy, and simple potential energy is known as the stored form of energy. The energy stored in the between the molecules is chemical potential. Similarly, energy stored at a certain height is gravitational potential, and similarly we have electric potential energy. So right now this potential energy is a kind of elastic potential energy. So let's come to question number 16. This question is once again from our chapter number 6, work, power, and energy. In this given figure, crane is lifting a load of 500 kilogram from point A to point B. The value of acceleration due to gravity is given 9.8. We have to find out the work done. As we know that whenever we find the work done and the due to the work done on the body that changes the height, so this type of work is equal to potential energy, change in the potential energy of that body. So work done is equals to change in potential energy, that will be equal to mgh. The mass of that body is 500, gravitational acceleration is 9.8, and the height from point A to point B is 20 meters. Okay, so the correct answer we have is 98,000 joules of work is done on that by this crane to move this load from point A to point B. So the correct option is option D. Let's move to the other question. We have question number 17. And in this question, the energy possessed by the body due to its motion. So this is a question from our chapter 6, work, power, and energy. and we have studied different types of energies in that topic. So the energy that is due to the motion of the body is known as kinetic energy, and the body that is at rest will possess zero kinetic energy. So the correct option we have for this question number 17 is option B. Let's move to another question, that is question number 18, and this question is from our chapter number 7, physical properties of matter. So in this question, a fluid vessel having equal sized hole at L, M, N and O are shown in this diagram. So if a piston is pushed with a force F at point N, the increase in pressure transmitted by the fluid will be. So we have the four holes in that fluid vessel, and we are applying a force, or we are applying the pressure at that point N. We are applying the pressure at the piston N. So according to the Pascal's law states that whenever the pressure is applied at the surface of the liquid, it is equally transmitted throughout the liquid. So the pressure that is exerted at point N will be transmitted equally at O, L and M. So the pressure will be same at all these points, and the reason is the Pascal's law. So the correct option we have for question number 18 is option D. Then we have question number 19, and this question is from chapter number 7, physical properties of matter. Which of the following is used to determine the density of an unknown object? So, as we have studied that for calculation of densities, the Archimedes was the first person to calculate the densities of unknown objects. So, Hooke's law states the relation between stress and strain. This Pascal's law is related to the pressure, and the principle of moment is related to the torque that we have studied in chapter 4. So Archimedes is the principle that relates that can be used to find the densities of the unknown object. So the correct option for this question is option C. Next, we have question number 20, in which all of the following are a statement about the kinetic molecular model of the matter. So this is from our chapter number 7, physical properties of matter. And as we have studied in that topic, that we have basic three postulates in this kinetic molecular theory or model, in which three postulates are: every state of matter is made up of molecules. The molecules attract each other, and the molecules are always in continuous motion. So these three are the basic postulates of kinetic molecular theory. The fourth one is not the part of this kinetic molecular theory model. So we have to find the except one. So the correct option for this question is option D. So let's come to the other question, that is 21, and this question number 21 is from our chapter number 8, thermal properties of matter. A thermometric liquid should have the following property. So we have studied the total of basic 7 properties that should exist or in a liquid that is to be used in a liquid in glass thermometer. So those different quantities were that this thermometric liquid should be visible, it should not wet the glass, it should have low specific heat capacity, while it should have a linear thermal expansion. Simultaneously, the substance that should be used in a liquid in glass thermometer should have low freezing point and high boiling point. Why the substance should have low freezing and high boiling? So that whenever the substance with low freezing and high boiling point will stay in the liquid state for a longer period of time. So the correct option for this question number 21 is option A. Let's come to the other question, question number 22. And this question 22 is from our chapter number 8, thermal properties of matter. So, which of the following is the only similarity between the evaporation and boiling? We have studied different differences between evaporation and boiling. In this question, we have to find the one similarity, that is in the process of evaporation and boiling. So, both processes take place within the solid. So, this is the incorrect one. In both proper processes, temperature remains constant. That is incorrect. While in boiling, the temperature is constant. For evaporation, evaporation can occurs at all temperature. In both processes, bubbles are formed. So this is incorrect one, because bubbles are only formed in boiling process, not in the evaporation process. Both processes involve the change of a state from liquid into vapor. So this is the basic similarity between the evaporation and boiling. So correct option we have is option D of question number 22. Next, we have question number 23, that is from the same chapter, chapter number 8, thermal properties of matter. The transfer of energy from a hot body, from a hot object to a cold object. So, we know that the energy that is transmitted from a hot body to a cold body, when there is a thermal contact between them, so this type of energy is known as heat energy. So, correct option for this question number 23 is option A. So let's move to another question, that is question number 24. The flow of cool air from sea towards the land produces a sea breeze as shown in the diagram below. So there is a process that is known as sea breeze, the breeze that blows from sea towards the land due to different intensities of the air above the land and the air above the sea. So this basic process of heat transfer is due to the process of convection. So this land breeze and sea breeze are the main application of the process of convection in our daily life. So this process occurs due to difference in the densities of the liquids or gases. So the correct option is option B, convection. Next, we have the last question from this chapter, from this paper, that is from chapter number 9, uh, transfer of heat. The previous question was from the same chapter, chapter number 9. So, wearing a white uniform keeps the student cool when the weather is hot. Usually, the students wear the white or the bright colors uniform to keep them cool in the summer. So, we have to tell the reason the why white colors is used. So, uh, dull and dark. Wearing a white uniform keeps the student cool when the weather is hot. It is because the white color is dull and dark. So this is the incorrect one. So white color is actually shiny and bright, but this is not the reason we use this color in the hot weathers. So the correct option is option C, that is the incorrect answer. A good absorber of heat. White colors are the basically good reflectors of heat. So we have option D, that is a good reflectors of radiation. White colors reflect most of the radiation from that uniform. So the correct option we have is option D for this question number 25.